We are a channel that broadcasts mostly for a foreign viewer, but we're interested, is there any policy on the Russian side to promote Russian culture abroad? And if yes, what are priorities? Yes, of course. There is a Russian policy which has been formulated by our president within the federal document, federal policy, and there is a program of Russian years in various countries and years of foreign countries in Russia, and we have been doing that pretty actively. Next year, 2018, is a year of Russia in Japan and the year of Japan in Russia. Who initiates that process? Usually, this is a result of high-level negotiations between the countries, and usually we have a number of cross-country years. You're right. The next year is the year of Japan in Russia, but there is also the year of Austrian music in Russia. This year there was a year of Austrian tourism to Russia. So, because this is all curated by the Culture Ministry, but the tourism goes hand in hand, and the next year will be the tourist exchange year. So, using the efforts of two countries, we have achieved the mutual tourist exchange to Austria from Russia and vice versa. So we have increased that flow by 30%, which is not bad. Can you say a few words about the Russian Seasons project to make bridges under quite difficult political circumstances today? We have watched that festival in Japan. Are you happy with the outcomes? Is it worth doing? This is an innovative project. We tried to focus our efforts for cultural exchange within a year on one priority, trying to show all areas of Russian culture: cinema, theater, circus, exhibitions, and so on. About 3 million viewers have visited those events. Frankly speaking, this is an annual process. It goes by itself. But for the first time, we have coordinated those efforts to fit it into a single brand, having organized a few special purpose events only for the Russian seasons, having brought it to a high state level, and that was, attended by the Japanese Prime Minister at the opening ceremony of Russian seasons in Japan. And I would say that nearly the entire cabinet of ministers attended that event. And this is an unprecedented event showing the cultural exchange between our countries. Japan became the first country for the Russian Seasons Festival. On the 14th January, we're going to open this Russian Seasons in Italy. Then comes Germany and the United States. Gergiev and Matsuev are, the most high-profile people. But what about Soyuz Multfilm? You brought it to Japan. Why? Cheburashka is the highest-profile figure, which is very popular in Japan. Because animated cartoons are pretty well developed in Japan. We want to maintain contacts. We need to revive this film studio, and we want to make cooperation with Japanese companies. We hope that the Soyuz Multfilm animated cartoon studio visit to Japan will bring about new contracts. Culture should seed good things to upbring toleration, because the world is lacking tolerance, and that results into big disasters. However, the culture is underestimated as a soft skill to deliver high-level state tasks. How do you think is culture a good instrument to achieve this goal? This is a hard question to answer. Of course, it does. If you don't know a person, if you don't understand his lifestyle, his way of thinking, his motives, like why, when the firearms came into being, the degree of bloody battles increased, because when you see a person through the sight of a gun, you don't perceive him as personality. And the culture is a tool to show the history of the people, the character of the people of the country. And it is not just shaping an understanding between peoples, but it makes easier to find common language. You have recently reported to our president that our public has increased. The rate of visiting to theaters, to Philharmonic, increased by 30%, and that is a good sign for your ministry. But could you analyze why it so happened that the general public began flooding cinemas and theaters? All those figures, this is just a statistics from our cultural institutions, because we set goals to them and we're trying to incentivize. The more you have visitors in your museums, the more tickets are sold, to say nothing about cafes and bookshops. So the more money is spent in the museum by the public, the more goes to their budget. We don't charge them more. And we can see how their budget has been growing over the recent time. And the most important thing is that we have a fertile soil finally for that, because the drive for artistic things is inherent in our people, and our people have a high level of culture. They're very, I would say, good visitors, good spectators. That comes from the Soviet times, and there are a lot of good things coming to the educational system. It's not us who did that. It's this. We're not queuing up with you to the exhibitions. We do.